special lady of the evening. I want to be careful how I word that. That could come out wrong. And our guests and fellow Toastmasters. Good evening.
Good evening.
Greetings from Southern California. I brought the warm weather with me, but I could only keep it here so long. I'm excited to be here as part of this evening because Doreen and I go way back. When I do this when I come up and visit family here. I was born at, it was called KW Hospital back then. I don't know why they changed the name to Grand River. I mean, Grand River could be all the way down in Cambridge. But anyway, so I go way back here. My wife still has family here as well. We come back in town, and when we are, I always let the district know I'm available. And Doreen and I worked together when she was district governor, and happy to be a part of this special event. My message tonight is called Drive Your Ferrari, because I feel like Toastmasters International has a worldwide reputation like Ferrari, and it's powerful like a Ferrari. Only the difference with Toastmasters is we change people's lives, and we change them for the better. Tom Peters, when he received the Golden Gavel at the Toastmasters International Convention, he was the author of In Search of Excellence, if you remember that book from the 80s. He said the product of a nonprofit is a changed human being. And I think, well, wait a minute, change is not always good, right? There's change for the better, change for the worse. But if you think about Toastmasters, the product of Toastmasters is an improved human being. Wouldn't you all agree there's nobody that participates in our program that doesn't come out better, no matter how long they participate? And so that's where the genesis of this speech came. And I realized that we do have this worldwide reputation. Toastmasters is now in over 100 countries around the world, 12,000 clubs, and we have grown so much. A number of years ago, we were doing a breakout in my IT group, and we were off-site at an Embassy Suites. And we were doing an exercise, and they had to pick somebody who was going to report back the exercise, right? They're like, oh, who's going to do this? And they look at me and they go, well, you're the Toastmaster, you do it. I'm like, it's no big deal. Okay, sure, I'll do it. And as you heard from my introduction, I'm a bit of a comic. I like to have fun and make jokes along the way. So I decided to play it up. And so when I got up, I said, Mr. Facilitator, fellow members of Information Technology, the Green Team is proud to present the results of Exercise A. And the facilitator, which I didn't even know, he goes, wait a minute, stop. Toastmasters, right? he recognized the format. And we are worldwide. We are well known. And Toastmasters is powerful. It changes people's lives. And I want you to make sure that you get this into your head tonight, because it is. Think about how Toastmasters has impacted your life. Doreen, you know, I know you're going to talk later on about this, so I don't want to take anything away from that. But tell us what some of the ways that Toastmasters has helped you in your personal life.
I can speak now without being shy.
Okay, so when you joined, you were shy and introverted?
I impacted people's lives, I believe, and they impacted mine. I've met a lot of great friends along the journey.
Made a lot of great friends. Exactly. We are a Toastmasters family. That's great. Anybody else want to share how it's impacted them? This is the audience participation portion.
I earned a promotion at my work.
Earned a promotion at work. Excellent. Excellent. Can you tell us more about that, how that came about, and what skills from Toastmasters helped you in that?
The leadership side of Toastmasters actually has helped me, because about 5 years ago I applied for the manager's role, was told I wasn't ready. After coming to Toastmasters and being Toastmasters for 5 years, I went back into the same interview with VP, and she said, now you're ready.
Excellent. All right. That's fun. I know we have some guests here. You need to think about joining Toastmasters for very selfish reasons. It will help you in your personal and professional lives. Table topics. Have you ever had an experience in your personal life where those table topic skills came to life? Anybody? Yes?
Teaching writers.
Teaching writers. Tell us more. What did you have to do and how did you use it?
Well, I teach other people who are learning to write. I'm already a writer and editor, so helping them, they ask questions, and I never know what the questions are going to be.
Okay.
So that's impromptu.
Great. Awesome. That's great. I'll share a Kitchener experience I had. I came back for my grandfather's funeral, really more for my grandmother, because obviously he was gone, but I wanted to be here to support her. And during the service, This was at St. Peter's. Am I saying that right? Over the Lutheran church, right off there. Anyway, during the service, she leans over to me and she says, "By the way, I want you to speak to the congregation on behalf of the family." No, that's not the bad part. The kicker was the service was in German. And thank God for Toastmasters, I was able to pull some. I speak a little German, but far from fluent. But I was able to pull off enough because of that table topics experience I've had in the club, where I didn't do dishonor to my grandfather in his memory or to the family. And it was a real blessing for me. Another example is a colleague of mine that used to report to me when I was a manager at Union Oil Company running the data center. And this gentleman, when we outsourced our data center, his job was eliminated, and he ended up going for another job. And in an interview, what Toastmaster skill does he get to use? Table topics. Table topics, right? If you think about what's an interview, you're being asked questions and you answer off the cuff. Except in an interview, you sometimes have ideas of the types of questions he got. Well, thanks to Toastmasters, and he does credit Toastmasters for this, the skills he learned in Toastmasters got him a position that made him more money, that was closer to work at a higher level than when he reported to me. And he credits Toastmasters. Personally, I've gained 5 promotions since joining Toastmasters. And I know in at least 2 of them, like Sean said, that was the leadership experience I gained as a Toastmaster that gave me that opportunity to have the experience to take that position. And I want you to all think about that. In the book of lists, there's a list of fears. You know what the number 1 fear is?
Speaking.
The fear of public speaking. The fear of public speaking is above the fear of death. Now, some people misinterpret that to mean that if you're at a funeral, you'd rather be the corpse than give the eulogy. I don't think that's the case. It's not, speak or die. Okay, I'll speak. But it's on a day-to-day basis. What do people have a fear about? Most people walking around on a day-to-day basis do not have a fear of dying. But they do have a fear that they're going to have to speak in public. They are scared. Their boss will come to them and say, "By the way, I need you to give a presentation before the group this afternoon." Does that happen in real life? No. Absolutely. And Toastmasters prepares us so that we can shine and rise above, like I did in our group exercise. Because I was the one that presented to the group, our CIO equivalent was seeing me as the leader of that group because I was the one that reported out. Great, okay, I'm happy to do that. And when we do that, we also do it better, don't we? It's okay to brag a little bit. We do. We don't have the ahs and ums. And when I meet with executives in talking about starting a new Toastmasters club in the organization, I'll ask them, usually 2 questions is all it takes. I'll say, have you ever had a business meeting that didn't start or end on time? Like, oh yeah. Kind of messes up your schedule, doesn't it? Oh yeah, I'll tell you. Toastmasters can help with that. Okay. Have you ever had a presenter that was presenting to you, and you could tell that he or she knew their material, but they just weren't getting to the point. They weren't able to convey that in a succinct manner. Oh yeah. Toastmasters can help you with that. And usually those 2 things, that's all it takes. I have the guy, yeah, that sounds great. Let's go ahead and do forward. Wouldn't you all agree that those are skills that you're building by being members of Toastmasters? I'll give you the example of Nanda DeRose. And I apologize, poor Carolyn, she's heard me speak, so she's hearing some of the same stories over and over, but many of you haven't, so hang on. Nanda DeRose was a lady originally from the Netherlands. And I so admire Toastmasters where English is not their natural language. And here they're using English as a second language to begin with. And then they're also working on this communication and leadership skill. Wow, these are really great people. And when Nanda joined our club, her first first table topics, we speak, minimum of 1 minute. She couldn't even do the full minute. She started to speak, she goes, okay, that's it, I'm done. She sat down. And the next time she got called, she went a little bit longer, still didn't make 1 minute. It was like the 3rd time, finally, she was able to speak and was able to do 1 minute. Now, we can't shut her up. We literally transformed her from an introvert to an extrovert. And what that meant for her in her personal life or professional life is she's a consultant with executives. She helps them organize their businesses and structure them. And she always had the knowledge. But thanks to Toastmasters, now she had the self-confidence to share that knowledge. And her business has grown by leaps and bounds because of Toastmasters. She went on to become our club president, an area governor, a division governor, but she started not even able to complete 1 minute of a table topic. And so that's the power of our program. We change people's lives. In Toastmasters, we do evaluation. And in evaluation, what's our focus? It's on the speaker, but it's mostly
Praise.
praise, positive, right? When I, as a manager and an IT director, did performance appraisals, I used the Toastmasters technique. Employees, even in tough economies, employees want to know that they're valued, right? They want to hear they're doing a good job. And if they are, I'm not going to lie, but if they are, and assuming they are, if they're not going to be on my team. But if they are, I want to let them know. So I use the Toastmasters technique. I mean, it's not limited to 2 to 3 minutes, but I focus on the positive. I tell them the things that they're doing well, and then I offer 1 or 2 things that they might want to work on. And I found that technique is excellent in the business world of taking that Toastmaster skill and taking it over here. Let's talk about leadership in the club. Leadership is so important. As a Toastmaster leader, you're learning how to motivate and influence volunteer. Does anybody have to be here? No, it's not required, right? This hasn't changed up here, has it? There was a pause there. Nervous. Oh, let's not tell them. Let's keep it secret. But you can learn to motivate and influence volunteers. Doreen, as district governor, you were doing that to the nth degree. Area governors, let's get out there. Let's do this. Let's make it fun. Let's make it happen. And even as club president, when I train club presidents and club officer training, I tell them, sure, try being a dictator. Soon you'll find you're president of a club with nobody in it. Big deal. So you learn to be a motivator and influencer. And does that translate into the workplace? Yes, it does. Again, nobody wants to be operating in the command and control. I know of individuals, I know a lady in particular, that in the midst of a recession quit her job because she couldn't deal with the command and control manager that she was working for. She's like, I've had it. This is not the type of environment I want to work in. What are we working in today? It's all a team environment, right? What's every team need? A leader. A leader. Where is leadership being taught? I mean, years ago, they didn't even offer it at the university. Now universities have taught and they are offering leadership. But really, Toastmasters, I feel, is one of the largest leadership training opportunities in the world. If you think about the number of districts we have with the area governors and on up, clubs, 12,000 plus clubs times 7, every year, those leadership opportunities. We're building a skill set that people can take and take in their personal life. Get those promotions that they deserve because they got the experience in the club level. Professionally, I was an IT director, and I managed 100 people in my organization, and it was a pretty high level position in my corporation. But if you put that in Toastmasters world, it really relates to area governor, right? You think about it, how many clubs in an area?
4 or 5.
4 or 5 clubs, how many members per club? About 20, 100 people. That's the first level out of the club. It's already at an IT director level in the corporate world. And then there's division. How many people in your division?
You didn't know
You know, I lost him.
Okay. 700, you say?
Something like that.
Never made it in the professional world. I never made division governor. Area governor, that's all I made.
Got a lot of middle managers.
Yeah, yeah. And then as district governor, oh my gosh, district governor, oh my gosh. You know, there are only 100 of these, less than 100 in the whole world. You think about that. You know, we have our current district governor. We're so honored to have her. And a past district governor is a member of this team. You realize that you're more likely walking the streets of the world to bump into a former head of Italy than a current district governor. That's how rare they are. So ladies and gentlemen, and again, you have such a great example of Doreen here because she does epitomize this. She has that Ferrari power. She is powerful. She's gained the experience. She's changed and transformed herself, so she's a living example. And God bless you for starting this club because of you, you're allowing that spark to spread to so many others, and that is a gift that keeps on giving. The club is only a couple years old, but it will continue and it will grow. As I was sharing with Doreen, a club I chartered, and I don't expect you to remember last May's Toastmasters magazine where I was mentioned in there, but they had members of past presidents, and our club had just had our 20th anniversary. And when I charter a club, you don't think about that down the road, but it was like, wow. And you think back on all the people over the years that have come through the program. And yeah, not all of them got their 10 speeches done, but as I said at the beginning of the speech, no matter where they start, they leave better than when they came in. So ladies and gentlemen, I entreat you, I encourage you, no! I implore you, drive your Ferrari.